Hi ladies and gentlemen, here with another video just to chew the fat off Saturday's game against Newcastle. And what really was men versus boys. Suns slumped to a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Newcastle, thanks to Dan Ballard own goal and 2 goals from Alexander Isaac. I left it a couple of days to dissect the game, try to think the game over and not try and be too reactionary after the game, because I was annoyed after the game, not at the players itself. I'll come on to why I was pissed off. Just try to get other people's point of views, see what they thought, then take that into my own, see if I was right on what I was saying and not too bitter. Sunderland weren't very good, let's be honest. Didn't play particularly very well. Didn't lay a glove on Newcastle until about the 70th minute, I would guess. Maybe it's a bit before that. I think it was deflected shot where Dubravka said that we thought was a little bit before that. But really didn't start having a go at Newcastle until about the 70th minute. I say Newcastle were brilliant. I wouldn't say they were brilliant. I was about to say they were brilliant there, but they weren't. They weren't at all. We gifted them 3 goals. Obviously the own goal, thanks to a defensive mistake. Then Ahhh's mistake on the edge of the box, which allowed Almiron to give Isaac an open goal. Then obviously the penalty itself. I'd say we defended well the first half, but we couldn't. The transition from defence to attack was very, very poor. We moved the ball too slow, and let's be real here, they are a top side Newcastle, and when they're on the game and they're on top, there's 2 things that they're really, really good at, and one of the best teams in the country. One of them is a high press, and the other one is getting back into the shape and make it difficult for teams to play around them, and they did that. We played into their hands in a way, because we tried to play off from the back, which why would you? Excuse me. Why would you? And the second one, we moved the ball far too slow. It was far too slow. We wanted the midfield wanted too much time on the ball. We couldn't get our danger men like Jack Clark and Alex Pritchard on the ball in dangerous areas. And we really didn't lay a glove on them the first half. I think if we went in 0-0 at half time, I think it might have been a different game. But obviously the Ballard own goal and Isaac's goal just after half time just killed the game as a contest, let's be honest. Granted, the last 20 minutes we did have a little bit of a go. Alex Pritchard's at the crossbar. Then Dubravka's made a save from Pritchard as well when he's hit the outside with his right boot. And credit where credit's due, I thought Abdullah Bar did more in 8 minutes than 80% of the team. Let's be honest. He came on the 82nd minute and he did okay, really. He ran at players. He wasn't scared to take them on. Just needed to pull the trigger a little bit on the edge of the box. Just test Dubravka a little bit. If you're going to have standout performers in a derby game, I'd say 3-4 stand out for me. Obviously, barring the own goal and the penalty. I thought Dan Ballard had a good game. Once the own goal went in, I thought he lost his head a little bit and his head dropped. 09, I thought was class. Me steps on as Newcastle supporter. And he turned around and went, did Isaac play very well? And I went, he did what he had to do. He was very quiet, but I think that was more down to O'Neill and Ballard than it was Isaac himself. One person who stood out for me was Dan Neil. I thought Dan Neil had a good game in the middle of the park, and to be fair to the kid, he was doing the job of 3 players, because I don't want to dick people out, because there's no point really. The difference in quality is massive. Job was offered, and so was Ahhh, and Daniel had to do the job of 3 players, and I thought he did alright, to be honest. He was one of the few that stood out and looked like he could hack it in the Premier League. In Pritchard, when we were on top, he did alright. He pressured them, he wasn't scared to run at them. But it is what it is. They say they expect to come up here and they expect to beat us 3-0 really, the quality of their side. Obviously, credit Eddie Howe, he went full strength. Didn't take Sunderland for granted. He went full strength, he could have made a few changes. Kept a base of his first 11 and made a few changes around them, but he didn't. He went full strength. It's been a subject of note all over, but I thought their away end was poor. I mean, I expected more from a derby away end. Don't know if it was just because of entitlement, where they expected to turn up and win the game, which obviously Sunderland atmosphere was class, but I don't know about the Newcastle end. They were very, very quiet. They didn't start waking up until about the 70th minute when they were 2-0 up. But honestly, I'm not going to dick anybody out. Newcastle fans will jump all over the comments and dislike buttons and all that and cry into the cereal and whatnot when they eventually watch this, if they watch this. The one thing that did piss us off, and I mentioned this to a few people and I mentioned it in group chats and whatnot, was Michael Beale's demeanour and tactics on Saturday. I said he'd probably go with the same team against Preston, and fair enough, they did a job. But then you look at it in hindsight, if you're going to sit back and defend against them, you might as well just change the system altogether, bring an extra defender in, actually have some width where your fullbacks aren't getting exposed by their constant overlap. Then when you found out that we're getting all the joy in the wide areas with Trippier and Byrne going on the overlap with Almiron and Gordon, his answer to that was to go to a narrow diamond midfield, which didn't make one bit of sense. It just literally fed the game to Newcastle. It did, in a way it did. I mean, I know Dan Neil tried to press his hardest on the left-hand side, but bless him. As I said, he's trying to do the job of 3 men. Then he didn't make us up the 82nd minute, even when he went 2-0 down. Me personally, I'd rather have gone and getting be 4-0 and just had a go, showed a little bit of fight. It's like from then, I mean, he's saying I show a bit of fight where Dubravka saved with his foot from a Botman deflection and a good save down at his far in the right hand post, away from the game being 2-2 before they get the penalty. It's all ifs and buts. As I say, they'll learn from it, hopefully, and hopefully he does as well. But I hope one thing he learns: you can't just sit down and let the game pass you by as a head coach. You can't. I mean, look at Eddie Howe. Yes, they were the better team. They've got the better team. They were expected to win. He was constantly on Newcastle's case, keeping them on the toes, motivating them, leading them. When he wasn't doing it, and I don't like the bloke personally, but Jason Tyndall was. So, but then you look at our dugout, and you've got a lot of young boys out there who, let's be honest, like, throughout the depth in a way, and they were struggling, and you're looking for your motivator and your leader on the sidelines, your manager in your dugout, in your technical area, and he's sitting down, and his demeanour looks like he's beaten. So there's no wonder the lads on the pitch look exactly the same. And look, I know I'm not his biggest fan, and I know when people watch this is go, oh, he's just got an agenda against Michael Beale. I haven't. I want him to succeed at Sunderland because I want Sunderland to succeed. Just because I don't like the bloke doesn't mean I can't criticise him. I thought his game management was piss poor, because it was. I said it was borderline cowardly. You literally let them young lads hang out to dry that second half by not changing it. Yes, you haven't got many options on the bench. I understand that. But just bring one of them up. Bring Rig on. Get him a chance to play against Newcastle, a team that's been courting him for God knows how long. Get another centre forward on. Just play. The kids learn from the experience. And I don't know if he's just trying to protect the young lads on the bench. But by doing that, he's exposing the young lads that are on the pitch. And it didn't sit well with me. And that's the main thing that pissed me off. It wasn't the fact that the lads played poorly. It wasn't the fact that we got beat 3-0 off them lot. It was that, like, you look at Blackpool yesterday, went to Nottingham Forest and got a 2-2 draw by having a go. Bristol City getting a 1-1 draw against West Ham by having a go. And I bet Liam Mannins, whoever's Blackpool's coach, I think it's Neil Critchley, they weren't just sitting down and like accepting defeat. It was like this moment, like the first goal went in, he just sat down and admitted defeat, which you don't want from your head coach. Anyways, I've rambled on for nearly on 10 minutes about it. I've talked about it for the best part of 3 days. Don't want to talk anymore about it. It's in the past. We move on to Ipswich, a massive game on Saturday. 5:30 kick-off on Sky at Ipswich. Hopefully we can keep our good run of form going in the league. Let's fingers crossed we do. Hopefully get a few plays in during the week. I will do an Ipswich preview Wednesday, Thursday, possibly Friday, depending like time scales and stuff. Next week I will put out a video on Thursday regarding the transfer stuff. I'll let the week dissect, see if we bring anybody in, see if there's rumours that anyone go. I have an extensive list and I'll just give you information because I know not everyone has social media. It's weird in 2024 that not everyone has social media and they do come on stuff like this to get their information. I've been Leroy SCFC. You have been an absolute delight. See you later on in the week. Have a good one. How are the lads?